When Elon Musk stepped down from DOGE, many believed it was the end of his grip on government. But what if that was just a smokescreen? The truth is, Musk's loyalists never left, quietly ensuring that policies continued to favor his empire. In this video, we pull back the curtain on how those closest to Musk continued to shape government for their benefit, and how they kept making money off the system long after his exit, the seemingly quiet exit of Musk. The narrative surrounding Elon Musk's departure from DOGE was presented as a clean break, a severing of ties between the tech magnate and the world of government. Musk, known for his larger-than-life persona and high-profile ventures like Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink, was always a polarizing figure. His exit from the governmental sphere was framed as a return to regular order. The era of Musk was over, and now the government could focus on serving the interests of the public. In reality, this was far from the truth. Musk's departure wasn't a true disavowal of power, but rather a shifting of gears. Musk, with all his wealth, vision, and connections, could not simply let go of the enormous influence he had accumulated. As a result, a strategic realignment of power began taking place. Rather than making the difficult decision to dismantle the system of influence he had helped build, Musk ensured his lieutenants remained at the helm of key governmental positions, allowing him to stay on the inside and maintain his hold over policies that directly benefited him and his businesses. This wasn't a government freed from corporate control. It was a government that had become more subtly, and even more effectively, controlled. Enter Steve Davis, Musk's unseen hand. One of the most prominent figures who helped continue Musk's legacy after his exit from DOGE is Steve Davis. To most observers, Davis is a name that doesn't immediately ring bells. He wasn't a household figure like Musk, but behind the scenes, Davis played a pivotal role in ensuring that Musk's influence within DOGE remained as potent as ever. Davis has a long history with Musk, going back to when he was one of the first employees at SpaceX. Over the years, Davis became one of Musk's most trusted advisors, managing a variety of operations and playing a central role in strategic decisions. As Musk's businesses expanded, so too did Davis's influence within the private sector. But crucially, Davis never truly left the world of government affairs. In fact, after Musk's public departure from DOGE, Davis's role within the agency became even more pronounced. Many believed that DOGE would be released from Musk's grasp with his stepping down. After all, when the public face of a tech giant like Musk leaves a position of power, the expectation is that things will change. But in reality, Davis had long been embedded within the governmental machinery, ensuring that the policies and actions of DOGE reflected Musk's interests. Instead of implementing reforms that would distance the government from corporate control, Davis and other loyalists within DOGE made sure that Musk's vision remained intact. In short, the promised change never came. The political system, despite appearances, was still heavily influenced by Musk's values, goals, and bottom line. Musk's lieutenants, keeping power within the family. Davis is far from the only one among Musk's loyalists to remain deeply entrenched in government. Over the years, Musk has built a network of influential individuals, many of whom hold leadership positions within DOGE and other government agencies. These individuals have, at every turn, ensured that policies continue to favor Musk's business interests. At the core of this influence is a carefully orchestrated system of mutual benefit. Those in positions of power at DOGE or other key governmental agencies receive support in the form of lucrative government contracts, favorable regulatory environments, and even tax incentives, all designed to keep the flow of money moving in the direction of Musk's various ventures. From Tesla's electric vehicles to SpaceX's mission to revolutionize space travel, every aspect of Musk's empire was enhanced by these policies. The influence that Musk's lieutenants maintained meant that even as the face of DOGE changed, the policies, business strategies, and government decisions did not. In essence, Musk's businesses continued to benefit from the very system he helped create, only now operating in the shadows, protected by those who remained loyal to his interests. the policies that kept Musk's empire intact. When we examine the policies that emerged during and after Musk's tenure at DOGE, it's clear that the influence of Musk's loyalists ensured that the government remained firmly aligned with the billionaire's priorities. One of the most telling areas where this influence can be seen is in the regulatory landscape. For instance, when it came to government contracts, particularly in the aerospace sector, Musk's companies continued to win bids with apparent ease. SpaceX, in particular, reaped the rewards of these favorable policies, securing lucrative contracts with NASA and other governmental organizations. At the same time, Tesla benefited from government subsidies and tax incentives for electric vehicles, even as other manufacturers were forced to fight for similar benefits. While other companies in the industry might have struggled to navigate regulatory red tape, Musk's companies enjoyed preferential treatment due to the influence of his lieutenants within the government. Perhaps one of the most striking examples of this continued influence can be seen in the handling of government oversight and regulation in emerging industries, like artificial intelligence and autonomous vehicles. Despite Musk's occasional public criticism of the government's regulatory pace, his companies stood to benefit most from a lack of clear oversight. This meant that while other businesses in the tech sector faced growing regulatory scrutiny, Musk's ventures were often given a free pass, allowing them to innovate at a rapid pace while minimizing the risk of government intervention. A government for the few, not the many. As we continue to peel back the layers of influence within DOGE, one thing becomes glaringly apparent. The government was never returned to the people, as was promised. Instead, it was handed off to a select group of individuals who continued to serve the interests of powerful business magnates like Musk. Rather than a shift in power toward the citizens, it was simply a reallocation of power among Musk's closest allies. The result? A government that serves corporate interests over the public good. The promises of transparency, accountability, and change made during Musk's departure from DOGE were nothing more than smoke and mirrors. In fact, the only real shift was that power no longer rested in Musk's hands alone, but rather in a network of loyalists who ensured that the financial interests of Musk's empire were kept intact. This was not the end of Musk's influence, it was the quiet continuation of it under the guise of reform. Those who believed that DOGE would change its trajectory were left disillusioned, as the power structures that Musk helped build remained firmly in place, only masked by a new facade of leadership: the silent profit machine. While many critics of Musk point to his wealth as evidence of an unfair system, the true picture is far more nuanced. Musk's empire is not just a product of his own genius, it is also the result of a carefully crafted system of influence within government. It is a system that continues to reward those who are part of Musk's inner circle, those who pushed policies, managed contracts, and kept the regulatory environment favorable to his business ventures. The continuation of these policies after Musk's departure ensured that his wealth would keep growing, perpetuated by the very government that was supposed to protect the people. In essence, the government did not serve as a check on Musk's influence. It became an extension of it. And as long as Musk's loyalists continued to occupy positions of power, this influence remained unchallenged. What this means for the future. The departure of Elon Musk from DOGE did not mark the end of his reign over the tech industry and government. Instead, it signaled the beginning of a more insidious form of control, one that is more subtle but equally powerful. Musk's loyalists have continued to exert their influence over government policies, ensuring that his interests remain protected and his wealth continues to grow. The promise of returning government to the people has, in many ways, been abandoned in favor of a system that benefits the few over the many. As long as these loyalists remain in power, true change may never come. The future, it seems, will remain one in which the power dynamics are carefully controlled, and the wealth flows in one direction, toward the powerful few. If this story opened your eyes to the hidden forces at play, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of power, influence, and untold truths. Stay tuned for more revealing content, and share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And before you go, don't miss out on a free month of Audible credits. through my Amazon store, Audible. Use the code DARKHISTORY89-20 to get started and explore an endless library of audiobooks. Check out the link in the description